Hello, and I'm here today to share some great reads with you. I received a box of fall publications for fall 2024. And many of these books, when I get them, sometimes I don't get to include all of them in my column. And I always think, I want to share this book, but it doesn't quite fit in my column. For those of you who do know, I do have a column in School Library Journal, my Read Woke column. So I wanted to take today to just go through the box that I received and just talk about some of the books. Some of them may not be in my column, but I just wanted to share them with you because I think these are some really great reads that you should definitely add to your collection. So first off, I just went through the box and I picked some of my favorites out. So I may not cover all of them, but of course, this one was one of my favorites. It's called Freedom Braids, and you can just look at the cover, and I love the cover, the beautiful artwork, the hair design, the cornrows, and I just thought this was very eye-catching to me. And the back of the book says, Gather the midnight strands, tend the roots that gave you life, weave hopes into pathways, paths that lead you home. Isn't that beautiful? And it's written by Monique Duncan and Obo Moses. And one of the other things that I really like when I open up the book is look at all the different braid styles. So you can see all the different braid styles and there's names to them. And the book is entitled Freedom Braids. And so I just really like this book. I love the artwork, like I said, and just at first glance, this is definitely something that I would like to have in my school library. I'm a high school library, and we do have a picture book section, and so I think this is a book that definitely kids will enjoy. Some books just have you at the cover. That was one that just had me at the cover. And if you're like me and you make a lot of mistakes and you're not perfect, then you will love the book, The Mistakes That Made Us. And I think it's so important for our kids to realize that, nobody's perfect because sometimes when you're a kid and you make a mistake, you think it's the end of the world. So I really enjoyed this book. I think it had a great message. It's Confessions from 20 Poets, selected by Irene Latham and Charles Waters, illustrated by Mercy Lopez. And in the book, you have these different poets who are sharing mistakes they made. And one of them that really stood out to me was, let's see if I can find it off the top of my head, Lucretia Berry, The Wanderer. Lucretia Denise Berry, my mom, stormed through the neighbor's door with furrowed brows and worry in her throat. Whenever she said my entire name, I knew I was in big trouble. Earlier that morning, with our palms intertwined, she looked me in my eye and said, Wait for your brothers after school, no wandering off. At the end of the day, my first grade heart beat like a djembe. As I searched for my older brothers, where were they? Anxiety tickled my belly to my toes. Was I in the right spot? Where mom told me to wait? Time escaped my 6-year-old brain, and I couldn't wait any longer. My feet wandered away from school to my little neighbor Jermaine's house filled with video games and peanut butter and jellies. I forgot all about my brothers until I heard, Lucretia Denise Berry. Her voice let me know it would be a long walk home. And so in the end, the poet shares some little background information, and there's lots of great pictures and things like that. So I think this is a great book to, talk about making mistakes and talk about how these amazing, accomplished poets made mistakes and how, and I like this was in the book too. Many things make us who we are, including our mistakes. So our mistakes, make us who we are. They help to shape us. So it poets include Linda Sue Park, Margarita Engel, and Jamie Adolf, Jorge Argueta, and just so many more. Charles Waters, who, you're probably very familiar with. Linda Sue Park, I don't know if I said that name already, but love her. So I really highly recommend that one. And I made notes, but now I'm just freestyling because some of these books I'm having my first reaction all over again. This one is from an author I love, Nonika Ramos, and you may remember her from the Disturbed Girls Dictionary, and she also has a picture. She also has picture books out. So she's a great writer. Actually had a chance to do like an interview with her and everything. And so this one is called "They Thought They Buried Us." And I love a good title. So they thought they buried us. I was so excited about this book because I'm always looking for diverse horror books because horror is a very popular genre at my school. And so I'm always looking for that. And this is her new book is horror. And I really love the dedication in the book, y'all. Let me just read it to you. To all those children whose stories were buried, your truths are seeds seeking the light. I can't wait to read this book. I have not read it. Like I said, I got the box and I just wanted to share my first reactions before I really get into it. But I think this is great to add to the collection because this is something we do need to diversify our horror books. And one of the reviews on the back says, Nonika Ramos crafts a mesmerizing, razor-sharp horror story of institutional racism, generational trauma, and family bonds, spinning an intricate web of secrets, betrayals, humor, and exacting truth. They Thought They Buried Us will challenge readers and devour hearts. And that's from Alexandra Villasante, the author of The Grief Keeper. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm kind of just going all out of order, but first of all, I will admit, when I saw Queen Bee, how many of y'all thought Beyonce? That's my Queen Bee, Beyonce. But no, these books are not about Beyonce. This is a 4-book series, early reader, transitional book series, and it follows a young girl, and they're called Queen Bee, and they each have a different title. And these are just some great stories. Uh, the covers are so vibrant and full of color. I love that. And I also like the message that each book teaches. The show and tell queen. She shows off something about her culture. And initially, the kids don't react the way she thinks. And so she has to learn from that. Also, really, because I'm an educator, I love the back of the books where it has this think about it section, a glossary with unfamiliar vocabulary, and these cute little activities, y'all, from cooking, drawing, and dancing. Those are like all my favorite things. So that to get the kids involved and get them into the story. And so if you're an educator like me, then these books really do a lot of the work for themselves because they got these activities in the back. And so, like I said, these are so colorful. They're going to stand out. Your students are going to gravitate toward these. So make sure you get Queen Bee in your collection. And this is an author that I actually had a chance to have dinner with down in Tampa, Florida at a library conference. And the book is called Make a Little Wave by Carrie O'Malley Sarah. I think that's how you pronounce the last name. And what I like about this story is that it is a environmental story. It's a story about a girl named Savannah, and she goes to she moved and she's making friends, and so I think she goes to a restaurant and she gets a bowl of shark fin soup, and I was like, yuck too, and I guess Savannah was feeling the same way, and she's always been afraid of sharks, but she's even more terrified that they are used, that they're inhumanely killed for this expensive delicacy. And so then she starts to learn more about them and how they're endangered. And I feel like this is a great book for kids to, you know, see something, do something, and see it injustice or something that you don't think is right, and make a plan and get educated about it. I don't know what's going to happen in the end, but that's what I'm kind of guessing, that it's going to lend it to a form of student activism. And y'all know I love student activism. That's one of the pillars of Read Woke, is encourage readers to take action. And I feel like this book, um, Make a Little Wave, hence the title, Make a Little Wave, will have your readers making waves in social justice in different areas. So definitely get that book. And, we can't talk about any of these books without uh, talking about picture books. I love picture books. As I mentioned before, I have a picture book section. And if you're friends with me on Facebook, my son plays the violin. So when I saw Violin of Hope, I think this is the first one that I grabbed, this one in the Freedom Hair. But when I saw it and I read it and I gave it to him and he read it, he's 16 years old. And it's such a powerful story. Like, we learn about the Holocaust in school, but we don't learn about all the different ways that people were impacted and the things that were taken away from them. Uh, and so one of the things that was taken um, from people during the Holocaust is, it says, the Nazis looted the most prized possessions of the Jewish people, including works of art, jewelry, and musical instruments. And so in this story, there's a violin that they find that has been repurposed and brought back to life. And it was one of those pieces that was taken. It was taken away. And so this is the story of it being taken and then being repurposed, and just the impact. And I love this story, and I love that it is connected with something real, a program called Violins of Hope. And you can visit www.violinsofhope.com for more information about it. But this is such a powerful story, great illustrations, just another facet of history that really just helps you understand the power of knowing one's history and us learning history, and just helping our kids, uh, recognize that history is so powerful and it's so beautiful. And so I let my son read it too, and he enjoyed it. And so I definitely highly recommend Violin of Hope by Ella Schwartz, illustrated by Juliana Oakley. And I was really excited because my sports fiction section is like my smallest section of my fiction. And so I'm always happy to see sports fiction. And this one's called The Rule of Three by Heather Murphy Caps. And let's see what notes I have about this one. So it's about a kid. He loves baseball. And y'all, there's some mysterious smoke involved. Like, I was ready to try to read this one immediately, because I wanted to know, what is this mysterious smoke about? Because it says all of a sudden it's mysterious wisps of smoke form around Wyatt. Wyatt is the protagonist. And it says, as Wyatt tries to figure out what's causing this mysterious smoke and how to control it, he discovers he's connected to a painful family history, and he begins to question the rules he's always followed. He's a biracial kid in a mostly white town, and the baseball field is the only place where he feels like he can truly belong. So I was excited about this book, and I can't wait to add this to my collection to enhance my sports fiction section. And it's called The Rule of Three. And we can't talk about sports without talking about a book from my imprint, Raising the Bar. This is a collection of Black trailblazers in sports. And my favorite one is Raising the Bar, Black Women Who Changed Gymnastics. I mean, look at that cover. You cannot lose with this, because gymnastics with Simone Biles and everything that happened in the Olympics this summer, this one's going to be flying off your shelves. You're going to have a whole list for it. So I definitely recommend this, and get the other three. It's a 4-book series. Black Trail Blazers in sports. So that's definitely one that, you know, shameless plug. And speaking of librarians turned authors, huge shout out to one of my friends. His name is Christopher Stewart, and he has a book series, Becoming Ari. Look at the cover. I love these early readers, these transitional books, and I mean, I guess because I have one series of my own, but these are such a game changer for readers when you're trying to graduate them and move them on and keep that love of reading going. And so, like I said, it was written by Christopher Stewart, illustrated by Lala Stallone, and you can just see the cute cover. And it's all about Ari. And this one, like I said, I really like the I call these the origin little stories like the superheroes have. So at the beginning, it introduces you to them. Hi, I'm Ari. My friends and I started the Secret Kindness Society in our school. We work on projects to help people in our community. 5 of us are in the club, including me. Lizzie is great at keeping us organized, while Zuri is kind and always has new ideas. Elijah makes us laugh, and Carter can talk to anyone. Together, we make a great team. Secret Kindness Society rules: spread joy. Number 2, have fun. Number 3, be creative. Number 4, be secret. So, look at that. Isn't that cute? And these are just some great stories and that you can use with your students in class. And it's a 4-book series. It also has a think about it section in the back. And it looks like nonfiction, nonfiction back matter in the back as well too. So definitely want to support my fellow librarian, because who better to write books? Who knows best what kids want than the school librarian? So you got to get these, and y'all, you got to get all 4, okay, and add those to your collection. And it is November, and I don't know about you all, but in my school, my display is going to be all about Native American history, Indigenous rights, the day of mourning. And what was so fascinating to me is I was telling my students, I want to talk about the truth about Thanksgiving, the real history of Thanksgiving. And if you have read Left Out of History, you have the Left Out of History book series. You know there is a book, the true story of the real history of Thanksgiving from the Read Woke imprint. But this series takes it further because these books take a section or the different facet of Native American history and it breaks it down. And so it's written by Kayla Bellinger DeGroat, who is also my co-author of the book We Shall Not Be Denied, which is about voting rights. It's a timeline of voter suppression, and y'all have got to get that book too. But I digress. So in these books, and that's one thing that I really like about Lerner is the topics that really matter and that many times have been left out of history. They package them together, and it's like a one-stop shop, a toolkit, so that kids of all ages, and I think this one is probably grades 4 through 8, can get in and grasp the concept. And like I have told people before, even though these books are written for 4th through 8th graders, I've used them on a high school level as a research starting point, and also for my ESOL students. So these books are amazing. And this one is called Native Mascots, Myths and Misrepresentation, Battling Indigenous Stereotypes, Native Voting Rights and Sovereignty, Recognizing Indigenous Voices in Government. That is definitely needed. Indigenous Cultures Today, Protective Native Families and Practicing Cultural Traditions. Wow. And Indigenous, I think this is all of them, Indigenous Environmentalism, Honoring Our Relationship and Responsibilities with Nature. And so there's so many people that don't know the truth about Thanksgiving. They don't know that many of the things that we learned in school were lies. And so they don't know the truth. And so to help our students learn and to know and be respectful culture, I think these are great books to have. And so I highly recommend the Native Rights, and there are 4 books in these series. And if you loved Unspeakable, then you probably love Carol Boston Weatherford. You know, her name is very prevalent when it comes to children's lit. Along with David Elmo Cooper wrote The Doll Test. And this is told from the perspective of the dolls, y'all. And boy, get ready. If you don't know about the doll test, if this is your first time hearing about it, you are in for a powerful, eye-opening story. 4 dolls, 2 psychologists, 1 landmark court case. During the first half of the 20th century, school children in many parts of the United States were segregated. Black and white children could not legally attend the same schools. In their so-called doll test, pioneering Black psychologists Kenneth and Mamie Clark investigated the effects of segregation by presenting children with 2 Black and 2 white baby dolls. Show me the doll that you like the best, they said. Show me the doll that looks like you. And through this research, it showed that segregation harmed Black children. And when Brown versus the Board of Education case came along, Kenneth Clark testified about the doll test. His testimony was compelling. And in 1954, the U.S. Supreme Court ultimately declared school segregation illegal. And so it, you really just have to get this book. I'm just going to say that. And wow. She's done it again. It, this is just a powerful piece that needs to be in every library, every home, everywhere books are. When we talk about segregation and the effects of segregation. And this was a story that I had to actually go through and finish it because I had never heard of this basketball player. And y'all, whew. So he was Maurice Stokes, 6'7", great basketball player. He played for the NBA's Rochester Royals. He was Rookie of the Year, but then he fell and hit his head in a game, and everything changed. And he ended up being paralyzed, y'all. And he worked and worked and was able to regain some of his he went through physical therapy and all that and was able to regain some communication and movement in areas, but it all caused the Maurice Stokes benefit game to come into creation. And these are top players coming in to raise money for his medical care, and it became an annual event. And so I was just shocked when I read what happened because I had no idea about this. And then to see the hard work that he went through, and then to see the way the team, the other players came together with him, and he had an advocate that traveled to see him while he was in the hospital because they had to keep him in a certain state because that's where the accident happened. And I love the last couple of pages because it's an illustration of all of these NBA players who, because of him, they're now open up to new opportunities. He paved the way for Black superstars who came after him to showcase their full talents. And so hopefully you can just see LeBron, Michael Jordan, some of the greats that looks like Steph Curry, and that this man really paved the way for them. And we don't talk about him enough. I had never even heard of him. So definitely get Stokes, The Brief Career of the NBA's First Black Superstar by Ty Chapman and John Coy, illustrated by Lonnie Olivier. It's a lot of sports going on in this book, Box Perfect Match. So I heard of Althea Gibson, but I never heard of Angela Buxton. So This is the story of Althea Gibson and Angela Buxton, written by Lori Dubin, illustrated by Amanda Cordy. And basically, Althea Gibson was denied. She wanted to be in different tennis leagues, and because she was Black, she was not able to. And Angela Buxton was Jewish, and so she was trying to apply to be in different tennis clubs, and she was rejected because she was Jewish. So they end up meeting, and I think they met in Paris at a tournament or something, and they ended up deciding to play together, and they developed this friendship. And so this is the story of that relationship, and it's called The Perfect Match. And I should just love that cover. And I think it'll be the perfect match for your students. The idea that yeah, I'm corny. And we are the dreams of our ancestors. And this is by this is one of the contributors to this is Dr. Artika Artina. You may know her from the Read Woke book series. She is an amazing writer, and she's also founder of Planting People Growing Justice, an organization. And this is a beautifully illustrated story. There's several authors, including her. There's different websites that are being used, and there's a little call to action at the back, some ways to celebrate your culture and heritage. I just love this. It's so beautiful. I'm going to try to show you some of the illustrations. Isn't it cute? Oh, there it is. It is. Isn't it beautiful? Y'all may want to screenshot this because this is so cute. Isn't it cute? Okay. We are Black, bold, and brilliant, rich beyond measure. We are still here. Oh, you know, I love it. We are regal, Black and brown, from peanut butter to pecan. We shine like gold in the sun. Oh, I love it. I'll show you some more illustrations, y'all. This is just, it's just breathtaking. We bloom from within. Yeah, I got to get this book. I love it. We are the dreams of our ancestors. Imani Brown, Ajayi, Mariama Diba, Dazaria Ellis, Nala Fierce, Nandi Mawusi, Wisdom Mawusi, and Dr. Artika Artina. Man, is that cool? Wow. Maybe coming to an end. This last one is a book, middle and high, I would say. And you know, I was a language arts teacher, if you don't know, and I love teaching Shakespeare. And so this is a Shakespeare retelling that YA romance dreams are made of, staying true to the original story while somehow feeling like its own singularly modern, refreshingly relevant journey through complex friendships, sisterhood, queer identity, and unexpected love. And perfect for people who felt stuck on the outside, Emma Olan's Here Goes Nothing embraces the difficulty in finding and accepting yourself, a heartfelt and queer retelling full of characters to love. So it's Beatrice's senior year of high school. She's got these big decisions to make, but all she knows is that she wants to enjoy quality time with her little sister Harriet, nicknamed Hero, before everything changes. But then her worst nightmare happens. Benny, who comes back from boarding school, and he's more obnoxious than ever. Well, she's more obnoxious than ever. She's always thrown Beatrice off balance, and avoiding her isn't an option since Hero starts dating one of Benny's best friends. To spend time with Hero, Beatrice is forced to tolerate Benny's friend group and flex her snark muscles more than usual. When Beatrice overhears a shocking revelation about Benny, her whole world shifts. If you like me, you like, I gotta know what that is. Suddenly, she's no longer sure how she feels or what she wants. With Hero drifting away from her college plans, stubbornly failing to coalesce, and long-held secrets surfacing, Beatrice must figure out how to be true to herself, even when she's not sure what comes next. So, and there's a note in the front that says, "Dear reader, this book deals with sexual assault, questioning sexual identity, and grief for a parent. And I think that this is definitely something that you will want to have. We need more stories like this. She also wrote Funeral Girl. So if you read Funeral Girl, then you already know that this book is something that your students will enjoy. So here goes nothing. Okay, well, I think I'm gonna check. Let me check my box and make sure I checked everything. Okay, Diwali just passed. I almost forgot. Shout out to Nicole Solanke, my children's favorite school librarian. She just celebrated Diwali, had the most beautiful pictures with her and her husband. And so, what I like to do for the holidays is I like to highlight several different holidays all in one display, and I usually use picture books. And so this year I will be using Once Upon a Diwali by Anita Mishra, illustrated by Dia Chakraborty. And you can already see this is just magic. Beautiful colors, vibrant illustrations. This is definitely something that I would have on display, and definitely something that you can use to teach your kids about different cultures and different holidays. This is such a great piece in addition to your collection. I know it will be for me. And it says Anita Mishra and Dia Chakraborty joined together to represent their respective cultures as Diwali, or the Festival of Lights, is celebrated around the world and across various religions, including Hindus, and I may be mispronouncing this, Jains, Sikhs, and Buddhists. So get Once Upon a Diwali. Isn't it beautiful? I love those colors. Okay. um, okay, so my time is up. Thank you for sitting and listening to me. I don't know how long this is, but these are some great books from the Fall 2024 collection from Lerner Publishing. I highly suggest you get them all. I'll try to add a link to the titles of all the books in the caption so that you can know exactly what to get, and just continue to advocate and provide diverse books for your students in their collection. I guarantee you they are appreciative of it, and they see us, they see what we're doing as educators, and happy reading. And remember, read something, do something, and you follow me on social media. I'm at Cicely the Great. And everybody enjoy your day, and drop some of your some fall some books that just came out fall 2024 that you think I should read, and maybe I can add them to my read book column in School Library Journal. Thank you so much.